force morality. Nightfall the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder raging war a night. We have come into the night, thunder raging war a night. We'll fight, dark age, Ragnarok, sail war. Finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Valhalla Esports. Having some more Week 5 action, doing a big wheel against SoraStar. Joined by Deity for the cast and Beard running the stream. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good to hear. For these games, Big Wheel had a couple of subs. They had Hayden Duh in the top lane and Kitten playing support. I believe SoraStar had their full lineup for this week. We can jump into that draft number 1. SoraStar having the blue side, Big Wheel on the red. SoraStar taking away Brand, Evbots Gragas, and Scion. Big Wheel took out Lux, Wukong, and Malzahar. SoraStar first picking that Orin. I don't mind first picking Orin for top. Kind of fits into any team comp and doesn't have any really huge counters. There's a couple of rough matchups, but generally you can do okay and play safe.
That would be great if it was Orn top, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I bamboozled myself. It's still a true statement though.
Yeah, and that
uh,
statement's true. It just doesn't apply to this game.
yeah, you know. Then we got the Zeri and Lulu. Apparently also a flex pick now, so Orange is super OP first pick.
Yeah,
They got the
true.
Zeri
You could put it
Lulu.
anywhere.
Nice mobile ADC with the Enchanter support. Grabbing that Darius for the top lane, looking to be a bully, and the Thresh support. Um, Thresh, another champ I like in most team comps, kind of has engage or disengage and can always save a teammate from a pick. And then the Camille for round 3 pick of Big Wheel. And then Big Wheel took out Jin and Syndra, 2 picks Junie has been liking. SourceStar took out Auction and Hecarim. And then Echo picked up for the jungle of Big Wheel, Nico Ash to round out SourceStar, and Jace to finish up Big Wheel. How you feeling about this draft, Deity?
I feel like SoraStar's draft has I have a lot of questions about it. I have a lot okay, so if you're gonna pick the Orn and the Orn is going jungle, mind you, if you're picking the Orn early, why would you follow up with Darius? Because you could just assume, like, the other team would assume that the Orn is going top because the Orn doesn't really go in any other lanes but top normally. Like sometimes you can play pivot a mid, but typically you never see Orn outside of top lane. So you could have just assumed that Orn, like the enemy team would have assumed Orn was going top. When you show the Darius, you kind of like make it think like, okay, so the Orn could be going somewhere else. Darius could technically be going somewhere else, but I don't know. It just kind of feels weird. And then you didn't give Junie, like Syndra and Jin were both up, and you didn't give one of those to Junie when they showed their bot lane already. So it just feels
Yeah.
really weird. Like the way they prioritize their picks, like I don't think Orange Jungle is great, but if you were gonna pick it anyway, then like I don't know why you wouldn't just pick your ADC where you pick Darius and then just save uh the like flex for Ornn till later.
Yeah, I would
I don't
agree with that, especially right after they had picked ADC and support. You have the counter to the lane fully.
Yeah, exactly. You could have just picked Jin Thresh here because Junie's like really good at Jin, and then you have your prio picks. Like maybe they didn't want to play Jin, but like it just seems like very strange that that's like the order they wanted to pick in. I would have just I would like to hear like their thought process on why they thought that this draft, and even if not, then they could have just picked like the Nico in the place of the Darius if they didn't want Jin or Syndra, and then the Nico could have also been a flex pick because it could go mid or it could go jungle.
Jin into
So
Enchanted area is favorable for him.
yeah, they
Bring
they
the
have a
hub.
lot of they have a lot of pick potential with Jin Thresh, so like it would have been nice. But if they didn't, even if they didn't want the Jin, like the Ashe has pick potential too. If they didn't want the Jin, they could have just picked the Nico where they picked the Darius, and then the Nico could have been flex jungle or mid, like
True.
technically. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I just think it's a weird draft order personally, but
Yep. But yeah. Now knowing Ornn is in the jungle, it's a little bit of a different one. Jin is scary. It is scary. I agree. He'll kind of just have to farm up till 6. If you hit a pillar, you could maybe get a knock up on a gank earlier, but it would be tougher.
I just feel like Ornn is so slow in the jungle, and
Yeah.
then like his clear isn't amazing. Like it's not terrible, it's not the worst clear, but it's not amazing compared to the other tank junglers you could pick. And then it's like on Ornn you want levels so you can get your items faster, but jungle you don't really get a lot of levels as a tank jungler because you're ganking more than farming. But
Yep. But
like
we'll
I don't know.
see how it plays out. They still have a fair amount of pick with the ults from Ornn and Ashe, Thresh hooks, and then Nico sneaking into a fight and just ulting.
Also,
For Big Wheel, they're kind of more set up for having a carry top who can split or team fight, Echo who looks for those picks, and then Jace who's looking to poke, along with just a big dive with Zeri Lulu.
Also, they banned Akshan instead of Jace, which I find weird. Because, like,
Um,
Jace is kind of like Hardway's like signature champ besides Brand. Like him, Jace and Brand are like his best champs. So it's kind of weird that they banned
and
Akshan, not Jace.
I know he does also play Akshan some.
Yeah, he
That's not what he
does. I'm
play,
just
but yeah, it's not one of his like main ones. Maybe it's
yeah,
just didn't want to see it for whatever reason. But we
yeah,
can
I guess
see how they play it out and get into this game number 1.
yeah.
You think we'll see any invades early? Think if
Uh,
either team would think to do it, I think would
I
be
mean,
SoraStar.
SoraStar, yeah, SoraStar, like I think would want to for sure.
Yeah, they're feeling though.
Game volume okay?
Yeah, sounds pretty good. But now we do have SoraStar looking to 5-man, and Big Wheel also having a 5-man, maybe expecting this invade. Now just doing the defensive 5-stack, a smart play to do if you think you're going to get invaded. Just stack a bush and wait for them to walk into you. It gives you a really good jump on the fight. And
Yeah.
they're starting to move a little early and might end up walking into the invade.
Yeah,
They had a ward.
straight in. He gets a 5-man stun though.
Yeah, Echo expecting it, using that stun, gets chunked out, but is able to walk away with his flash being used. Thresh used up the ignite, but no one falling, and very smart Evbot to toss that stun out. Didn't have vision, but was expecting the invade anyways.
I'm
And
super surprised nobody died there, to be honest.
yeah,
like
I think it was the stun delayed the Thresh hook, and
yeah,
then I think he avoided it with that flash. So it's well played.
yeah. I mean, there's flash for ignite. You got
Here, Camille getting a little bit
Hayden
of
getting a
poke
little poke.
damage.
That was a big W. Jeez.
Darius had already lost a little bit of health from the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't-
wasn't
I-
all
I
the W.
didn't-
That if her W did that much damage, you could literally
That'd
just
be
like
crazy.
W someone 3 times and all in them.
Just back to the Comet W Max Camille days.
yeah.
If you remember that. Back when her W just I think that was like it was a pretty long time ago, but her W used to like I think do a lot more damage.
Yep,
Nerf
but
that when she was
not a terrible matchup either way. Definitely Camille will look for the W poke, but not want any longer engages. Gets pulled in a couple autos from High Lord, but now is farming under tower.
yeah, Ornn a little faster on the clear here, so
Oh, Jace actually walking over, warding the blue side very early, so Echo's gonna know exactly where Reaper is on his horn.
I don't think he did drop a word.
Oh, there it is. It was on the. It's now just on the blue pit.
No, that's Ornn's word. So I don't think he
Oh,
actually
okay.
dropped one.
Okay, running in there
yeah.
thinking maybe he'll run into him.
Yeah, I think he was just
Orange
checking. Yeah.
actually working out for the best.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think if he did run into him, I don't know why he didn't drop it. Maybe he didn't have one, but it's kind of weird that he went all the way in that jungle. I get like he did get the information for his team that like Ornn hasn't touched his blue side yet, so it's,
Right.
you know, they can probably assume that he's on his way there, but I think that's like because even if he did run into him, he could chunk him, but the Nico would have been able to collapse on him. He wouldn't have really had any way out. His Echo wasn't nearby, so.
When he initially walked in, Echo was finishing birds, and I thought they might just go for invading him, but
yeah.
back off, have the info. Now Camille pushing in this wave, using the wave for protection, and just wants to crash it, look for that cheater reset.
Echo doing 5 camp into trying to look for something bot, but nothing is to be found.
Darius trying to freeze, taking a lot of minion damage, as well as the Camille abilities, but it will get crashed, and actually Camille's looking for this kill. A good ward there by High Lord, keep himself safe.
Ornn refusing to do the scuttle crab, which is peculiar. Maybe he didn't want to get roamed down on by Camille, but I mean, he just kind of gave up the camp. Guess he just wanted to get his rotation faster to get to Krugs, but kind of just gave a free scuttle to Evbot.
Yeah, Evbot getting that double scuttle start. Now, checking out the top side of Orange Jungle, all the camps are down, so he'll take a reset. Nico pushing in Jace a little bit, but farm is a little bit in Jace's favor, fairly even.
Yeah. Missing some CS here and there. Hayden getting quite a bit of early pressure on this Darius. I don't super know how that matchup goes. I would think that early matchups are kind of Darius favored, but I'm not sure. Maybe you have more insight on the Camille Darius matchup than I do.
It's Darius favored at least through like level 4 as you scale up your Q damage and you start to get the Sheen, which Hayden now has. As long as you can trade around it and not just do an extended auto trade, Camille can do well.
Yeah, it might just be Zenith or High Lord doesn't really know the matchup that well because he was kind of just like giving up early pressure to the Camille.
Yeah, where High Lord looked to freeze is where he could have let it crash and just since he was now in the long lane, could have looked for the ghost play to try and all in the Camille. Yes, a nice hook there from Live Light gets a nice chunk down on Fluffy.
He hit one hook. Getting some trade here. He hit one hook and got the cleanse, and then got the flash. He's been really good with those hooks.
Now Camille trading in aggressively, has the ultimate over Darius, has the Sheen. Still's going to want to basically Q, wait for the empowered Q, and get both of those off while avoiding most of Darius's combo. If you time the E right, you can cancel the stun from Camille, but it's pretty tight timing because she moves pretty fast.
Yeah. I wonder if like Hayden could have all-in on that E. I don't, maybe not because Darius has too much HP. Don't maybe can't burst him down, but
yeah, it's still since basically the item he has is Sheen. It's just proccing the Qs is all his damage right now, and it just takes a little while. When he didn't have the ult, maybe. Now that they both have ult, definitely not.
No, yeah, now definitely not. But it was before when he was level 5. Okay,
Yeah,
Echo getting collapsed.
It could have been done, but it still would have been dangerous, I think. But really, if you're having a lane where you can, if you can choose the poke windows whenever your passive shield is up as Camille, that's when you get the best trades.
Yeah, that's true. He did opt for Conquer over Grass, so he's looking for more of the mid game power with that rune.
Yeah,
Extended trades rather than the lane dominance of like Grasp.
makes you do more damage later, but a little less health to be safe.
Also, your tradings are a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Early. Doesn't seem like he needs them though. Seems like he's playing the lane pretty well. See, the CS is starting to.
A nice hook
dive.
again by Livelight. Hitting Fluffy right when he's looking for a dash. Echo just taking out all the buffs in his jungle. Farming about 200 health, and Ornn will start up this Mountain Dragon.
Seems like SoraStar has had the like pressure lead in the bot lane, but I mean that's 20 CS up for Fluffy, so they're even though Livelight's hitting a lot of hooks, it doesn't seem like the CSing is going as well.
Get a little jump in from Hardway, getting a chunk down on High Lady. A flash engage from Echo, flashed away from by Hayden, avoids the stun, and now Ghosts, so a good gank there, forcing out both of the summoners on the Darius. With Nico in the river, they may look to fight this Echo in the blue side jungle. Ornn, meanwhile, after the dragon is taken, getting the Thresh Lantern away from the other 3 members of SoraStar. Or, sorry, Big Wheel. A nice hook again from Livelight. Hits Jace, but has to flash over the wall to safety. Yeah, so far, no kills falling, just some farm differences. As I said, Fluffy has been pushed in, but has been collecting a lot of CS under tower, and Hayden still has about a 10 CS lead over a High Lord. As well as Jace also having about a 10 minion lead in that mid lane.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty slow in the early game. That you got 2 junglers who can't really. I mean, Echo can kind of gank, but more just trying to clear. And I don't really know. I couldn't tell you how Ornn ganks, to be honest. But
Well, now that that's level 6, I think you just
you can Ornn, yeah.
see a push lane ult as you walk in. Or right here looking like a lane gang, that could also work.
Now Fluffy up 30 CS. Doing a really good job closing the or just extending his gold there. I mean, it's pretty much it's 0-0, but it's up 1.5k for Big Wheel basically just off CSing alone.
Right.
Good job to top lane and bot lane for getting those CS leads just naturally.
Here, a High Lady is able to pick up a plate and run away from the Echo gang. And they take the bottom scuttle as a team. Just crying out that pink ward as looks like Ornn really wants to get a gank off here. Jace sees him crossing the river, pokes him back EQ. So he'll be looking for that red buff. Another great hook from a
really good play, holy.
Forcing the ult out of Zeri, and Ashe brings her down for first blood. Well played to the SoraStar bot lane.
Dude, Livelight is freaking going off on Thresh. Holy, that was like textbook. He hits the hook over the wall, pulls in, plays Zeri out of the E.
Nice play. Yeah, you have the exhaust down. Can Ashe survive? Gets the Lulu ult. I think Echo will pick up this kill. Can Livelight escape? Ornn is here to try to save. The Thresh hook goes wide. Oh, the Ornn misses the recast to knock it back into the enemy team. Thresh is alive, but now Ornn is going a little deep.
I was fighting everywhere.
Now, in the top lane, Darius has already used his ult, so Camille goes in, gets a kill with the Ignite Q. Both junglers fall, but Fluffy is back to keep the support alive, as Live Light is gonna need to back soon.
Yeah.
Do I have Ashe coming up?
Yeah, that was I mean, that was well played on both sides from both players. I mean, it sucks that Omega unfortunately missed that that Ornn horn.
Yeah, it would have been a big help. I don't know if it would change too much, but definitely want to be hitting that second R on the Ornn. That's where you actually get the knock-up coming through. For the top side, we were bouncing back and forth. Initially, when they were closer to the blue side tower, High Lord got the 5 stacks and ulted Haydenda, but it was while he still had about 3/4 health, so didn't get too much of a chunk. And then later, after he pushed up to the red side, Haydenda, having the ult advantage and Ignite, ulted onto the Darius, ignited him, and took him down. With a solo bolo kill. Another hook almost hitting onto Zeri by Live Light, and now Hardway ganking the bot lane is Jace. Looking like they're setting up for this next Ocean Dragon.
Top lane has Mythic already, so that's a pretty huge advantage towards top side. I mean, 3 or 4 of Big Wheel's members have their Mythics actually.
Yeah, and especially for Camille, just getting that Sunderer is such a huge increase in power. But Ornn looking to pick up the Rift Herald as the dragon was taken by Big Wheel. Echo looking for a quick invade on these birds. See if there's any fighting in the jungle, as they should meet on this camp. Like, Echo got it cleared and will walk away just as Ornn walks through that bush. But still a fairly even game, only about a 2k gold lead currently for Big Wheel, only a little bit larger now from what they had gotten from the early game farming.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very even.
A hook landing on the Lulu, doesn't take it in, doesn't want to dive the tower with them at basically full health. And good that they didn't, as Echo is around. Ornn is hiding in one of the bushes, they might end up having a 3v3 right here. Another hook landing on Zeri. The cleanse comes through. The Ornn horn does get hit back. Doesn't hit the Zeri as she surfs over the wall. But Lulu has to ult to escape. Echo now jumping onto the Ashe. And getting hooked. Gets pulled back. Gets Ashe ulted. Will ult to save his life as he's trying to walk away. Jace meanwhile poking down the Sneeko in the mid lane. Meal being monstrous in this top lane. Has the item advantage and takes down the Darius for another solo bolo kill.
Yeah, I mean, I think Junie really should have ulted sooner to try to catch Zeri before she could go over the wall, or catch the Lulu before she could ult herself. They needed to try to really make sure they could lock them down off that Thresh hook.
Could have been good. It was just barely wide on the Ornn horn for knocking up that Zeri.
Yeah, Zeri went over the wall, so I mean, it was good that he aimed for the Lulu. It was just, I think, the lack of follow up from the Ashe ult made it so that play just couldn't quite work.
Yeah, like as soon as the hook landed in the
the flay went back.
The flay was going in. Could have been the Ashe ult into the Ornn horn just to have the layered CC and never have her jump over the wall.
Yeah.
But again, despite that fight not netting any kills, Live Light looking ridiculous on his Thresh. Again, almost hitting the Zeri as the Ashe is chasing down Lulu with her slows. Forcing out the Mythic active to have Lulu run out. Now Camille trying to chase down Darius in the jungle, Echo nearby, Ornn also nearby. They end up as a 3v3 as the mid laners walk over as well. Camille getting rather low, flashes out as she's hit by the Darius Q. Now Nico ulting onto just the Echo, a good knockback there by Hardway. And now Echo trying to run down Nico, gets knocked up by the Ornn Horn, and that will save his mid laner. Jace now running down Darius and Ornn. And flash in, auto, and third auto will take him down. Well played there by Big Wheel, though that fight could have very easily gone either way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very hard for SoraStar to really like regain their footing with the comp that they have. I mean, they can get some good picks with like Ornhorn, Thresh, and Ashe, so maybe that's the angle. But I feel like, I mean, they just team of Big Wheel just has a lot of safety with their picks. Kind of hard to lock them down. They're all really slippery champions.
Yeah, a lot of escapes / the Lulu to keep you healthy, even if you're CC'd. Good job by Evbot to help clean up that Rift Herald before it gets a chance to get a charge off. And looking like Hardway might be able to look for this tower in the mid lane. Now with Dragon spawning in 15, 4 for Big Wheel are down here trying to set up the vision as the Ashe gets jumped on by Camille, gets knocked up on the wall, but the Ashe will fall. Camille ulting onto the Ornn will get burned down as he's trapped in the Hextech ultimatum. And now Jace walking down. If they want to try to fight over this dragon, it'll be a 3v5 for SoraStar. That will be a very tough fight as they're already behind. Looking like they will give it. Darius trying to stand near the bot tower. Thresh looking for a hook over the wall, nothing happening, and Nico farming up the mid lane. Now getting dove in the bot lane, a High Lord taken down by Echo and Camille. In the mid lane, Hardway taking down EV Light on Thresh, and Big Wheel secures the tower in the bot lane. Now looking to take this very low mid tower as well, and it will fall.
Yeah, I just think that SoraStar is just kind of playing a bit reactively instead of trying to. I feel like they don't really have almost like a game plan. Like they just kind of seem like they're just trying to react to whatever Big Wheel is doing instead of actually going out to make their own plays.
Looking to catch the Camille in the bot lane. Gets the knockup on Ornn. The Ashe ult also lands. The knockup still landing from Ornn. Gets another knockup from the W passive. The flay in after the Camille ult, and Camille does fall to the Ashe. A huge shutdown going to Ashe.
Yep.
Those are the kinds of plays we want to see them making. Gotta catch these big shutdowns on the side lanes and get back into this game.
They heard me talking, man. They heard me talking. They had to go make their own play, you know?
They said, oh, we got a plan. But yeah, definitely with the lead Big Wheel has, definitely able to dictate this game a lot, but seeing that pick play was fantastic. Live Light again hooking the Zeri ulting as Echo and Lulu were trying to help him fight. Nico invised ults the triple knockup, but now no damage follow up onto the Zeri, trying to disengage. As it looks like Big Wheel are trying to set a vision around this Baron. Camille, no TP, but heading towards the bot lane, looking to provide some split pressure. And if they get a good enough split push from Camille, they can really just sit around this Baron, keep waves pushed in top and mid, and whenever more than one person goes for Camille, just collapse on this Baron and take it. this Nico looking to mesh the Camille. See how she does into this big split push champion. So far clearing the way as well. So, alright, the Jace is caught in the enemy jungle, flashes away, and gets hit by the Ashe ult, plus Thrush Hook taken down by the Orin Horn. Good pick there again by SoraStar. Meanwhile, Camille still working on spot tower, got the wave pushed in, gets knocked up by the ultimate, but will just hit the tower one last time, ults immediately onto Nico, and actually chase Nico down with the teleport to tower, but may pay with it with her life.
That's really unfortunate. I mean, overall, that's probably good for SoraStar that they'll take the 1-for-1 trade there, but
yeah,
it's just really funny that she teleported like right next to where they were or she was.
Yeah, if you want to teleport out, you could have picked the tower a little further away. But it was actually the biggest brain of baits because you got the Camille to then dive you again. So I didn't see your 5D chest maneuvers. That's my bad. But despite dying, Camille got that tier 2 in the bot. The bot and top tier 2 give you additional gold for the local gold. So
Fluffy with the prime.
Hey, Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Thank you for the prime. Give me Zeri more, please. No more Zeri for Fluffy. He doesn't get to play ADCs anymore, okay?
He gets one more game because of the Twitch Prime sub. He gets one more.
One more. Choose it wisely. Now, Big Wheel setting up for this dragon, gets the Orin Horn in, but again, accidentally gets it off a little too late. The Ashe getting jumped on the backline by Camille and Jace. Gets zeroed out before the team can react.
A really good dodge on the Ashe ult by Hayden though.
Another engage here. Camille going on the Darius. The ult from Nico coming in, knocking up 3 of the enemy champions, but now alone amongst the entire enemy team. Camille actually jumping the wall to run at Thresh, who had tossed out the lantern. And Nico will fall. Thresh getting run down by Camille. No real way to get out right now once the E's back up. Oh, a fantastic Thresh flay. Might get taken down by the Jace, however. Again, playing fantastically, Livelight. I love your Thresh. You should play it more.
Yeah, I mean, Livelight has been the standout of this game on SoraStar for sure. Has been playing very, very well despite the huge deficit his team is in.
Now, Big Wheel picking up this Baron as they had a push in and a couple kills on that dragon fight. Omega sees them on the Orin. Does not quite have the ultimate yet, so now is trying to delay and escape with his life. The Ashe ult will come in on the Camille, but now has the Jace also chasing. Gets the Q1 for the slow and takes him down. Jace getting slowed by the Ashe autos, gets flashed on by High Lord and taken down with the ultimate. Now, Echo taking the Porter out. Camille just gonna E over the wall. Will end up being a 1-for-1 trade, but the Baron was taken by Big Wheel. So, smart play there from Jace and Camille. The rest of the team had the damage to finish the Baron, just running off the enemy jungler, so there's no smite fight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Big Wheel is in the driver's seat. SoraStar are trying to getting some 1-for-1 trade-offs.
Another long-range engage, a good route to get away by Nico. As the Lulu is also here. The Orin Horn coming in. The jump is down. The knockup comes through. The slows. The Ashe arrow with the hook. And Hayden Duh is taken down. The kill going over to the Orin. Meanwhile, Zeri and Echo pushing down this base tower. Jace teleporting in as 2 of the enemies show up. barely knock a miss, but the roots come through. The ultimate will knock up him and all the minions, and Hardway will fall to Ornn as well. Ornn picking up all these kills.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of TP where you don't realize that how close the enemy team is to you, like
Yeah.
when you TP,
You're like, they were
and then
top
you
by 50
immediately regret it as you find out
Ash.
that
Ash running down the Lulu, has the slows going on, gets polyed, but Ash just autos slows every time. The ultimate comes through, the W barely doesn't land, and Lulu gets flashed on.
it's too
Ash
annoying.
is looking for the kills. Gets the ult once again. W, couple more autos, the shield though, and takes him down. Live Light was there to help secure it just in case. But well played. Junie, it only costs you everything but your exhaust.
See, that's the OP thing about Lulu. She just pisses you off so much. You end up like using every single thing in your arsenal to kill her. She's the flash, the ult, everything, man.
But
I felt that though. I felt that.
They did get the kill though, so. Hashtag worth.
Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah, it was definitely worth just to kill the Lulu. Make sure Lulu does not go deathless.
Yeah, Bulgaria gets it worth. That's the kind of play Bulgaria would make. Although, to be fair, if he was the one doing it, Lulu probably lives there. The ult would have gone wide or something.
Dang, Bulgaria taking stray bullets.
He knows it's true.
From his teammate. That's tough.
Oh yeah, he's my teammate.
Who would have chased you, base? We know.
Yeah.
We know. We know.
You know, you would have missed the ult, you would have dove tower, and then Lulu would have killed you. Ornn trying to secure his red buff, but the enemy team is right there setting up for the dragon. Camille currently setting up that inhib tower push for the top lane, and the hook coming through again, getting the echo, forcing out that ultimate. The Ornhorn comes through as the ult lands onto the echo as well, cleanses, but gets knocked up by the Ornhorn.
Ooh, he gets out somehow.
He Zonias to avoid the knockup from Nico, and then the dash out was back up, was able to survive.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy how he was able to live that there. That was a good cleanse by Kitten onto the echo.
I'm glad that AP assassins aren't randomly tanky for no reason.
He's got green smite, man.
Peru. Now the fight in the mid lane. The Echo jumps in, didn't have ult to get out, got Lulu ulted but will fall. Now the Jace following up, jumping in, and Camille in the back line, trying to burn them all down. Zeri takes out the Ornn, the ult down onto the Ashe. Will take them all down. Well played there, Big Wheel, as they get the 5 for 2.
Yeah, the Camille's a little bit strong.
Now Camille back into the top lane, back to the true lane where you split push and randomly show up in team fights as Camille. We'll take down this tower and work on the inhibitor. Lulu pushing the mid lane on her own, trying to emulate the Camille.
Split push Lulu? Sounds like a Sir Bopsy strat.
That's about right. But Zeri will pick up that Dragon Soul for Big Wheel. So Lulu does get the tower with a little bit of help from Camille, and they get a bunch of objectives off the winning of that team fight. If I could play Camille like Hayden, we'd win every game. Bulgaria, you are correct. Unfortunately, I am washed and kiddiffed.
Bro. That's the truth, Mr. Rufus. I would too, but I'm currently jungle gated. Unlucky.
I just gotta pull out the Camille jungle.
Yeah, I would.
It's like
if only Riot didn't remove that from the game, like season
Big
9.
Wheel looking to burn down the Baron. SoraStar is in the area, but it will die before you get there for any kind of engage. Now.
Yeah, Bulgaria. So can Yumi. True.
Can jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, it can jungle. You're right. So can you.
But you had your stint of playing nothing but junglers in the top lane. Now you can go to playing nothing but top laners in the jungle. It'll be thematic for you.
That's true.
But with its Baron
It's not
buff,
as fun though. You don't get as much resources.
they're pushing down the mid as 4. They have the Camille in the bot lane. And Ornalt trying to come in on the 4-man, trying to get them while the Camille's not here. A nice pull in on the Jace and gets the Ashe ultimate as well. The cleanse
Jace will
take
not
away.
die.
He does die. Does cleanse take away Darius decks?
I believe it does. Yeah, it sheds negative effects.
Very good cleanse there from Kitten, making the Darius ult do basically no damage.
I could be mistaken. If someone wants to fact check me, feel free. But I'm pretty sure it gets rid of Darius bleed.
I feel like it was either that or she just had a really big shield. High Lady looking for the ultimate will take down the Zeri with the help of Ashe. Camille now jumping into the backline does not take down High Lady, but the minions and Lulu are working on the Nexus. Lulu
Get a Lulu.
dancing around, being the X-Pec we all need, and Kitten will end game number 1 alone autoing the Nexus with a couple minions helping. Mikhail's also heals. Okay, that would make sense too, because when I saw that when I saw that Darius ult hit, the health bar didn't move. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's heals and shields and cleanses and yeah, but I'm pretty sure it
only removes CCs. Okay, then it didn't. Just probably a shield and a heal.
Yeah,
but
maybe cleanse actually removes Darius bleed. I don't actually know.
I don't know. We'd have to look. But well played at game 1 to Big Wheel. Definitely a big performance by Hayden, getting a big lead basically alone in the top lane.
Thank you for fact checking, Montblanc. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Montblanc. You're the fact checker we need.
Yep. We're just talking out our ass. Fine.
Definitely well played in that mid to late game, getting a fair amount of picks from SoraStar, but it wasn't enough to get him back into it. But we'll see how they want to adjust the draft going into game number 2. And looking like SoraStar picked the red side.
Almost. We got 8 new champions. Sweet.
I see there's a Zeri again, so I guess you get one more game. Thanks for that Prime sub.
And Nico, but everyone else is different.
SoraStar took away the brand and the Krag skin and opted to take away that Echo. The Lux, Wukong, Malzahar maintained the bans for Big Wheel. Fluffy was feeling the Zeri, so picked that up for him. Nico has played again. I know, we see Nico. We just said that.
8. I said 8 new champions. You got
Zeri and Nico. Everyone else is new. Champion. We got Nico and Mordekaiser for SoraStar, and then Milio, the very unbroken support right now.
It's almost like the new champions are the most broken ones. That's crazy.
Imagine the new champions being strong.
That's crazy.
SoraStar this time picking up the Jhin for Junie. So we'll see how she can do on that this game. Big Wheel took out Syndra and Morgana. SoraStar said no Malphite and no Camille this game. Then picked up their Blitzcrank. Big Wheel grabbed Annie and Olaf, and then SoraStar rounded it out with the Khaziks. I'm playing 2v2v2v2. I have 8 on the brain.
Okay. I have a immediate big red flag with this draft from SoraStar once again, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah?
So, we pick Mordekaiser, and then we ban Malphite. What are we doing?
Malphite's just OP, man. What do you mean?
Why? Like, Olaf is the biggest counter into Mordekaiser by, like, a long shot.
That's
and
true.
we ban Malphite. Man, I don't know. Like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but like I get why they banned the Camille. They didn't want to see him play Camille again. Like, I understand that, but like why would you ban Malphite and leave up Olaf? I just feel like Olaf is like the most I don't know why they don't let like I don't know who's drafting for SoraStar. They don't let High Lord get counter picks ever, but I feel like you should give this man a counter pick.
Yeah, having a counter pick would have helped, or I agree, knowing you have the Mord, Olaf is that one champion who can just Q and run at you, and you'll have a terrible time in lane. No one wants the first pick. Everyone wants the first pick. What do you mean?
Dude,
But
first, I mean, some people, I don't like. There's a lot of like our team, for example. Like there's some people on my team that love getting first pick because that means they don't get banned out. So like if he was just trying to avoid ban, like the Mordekaiser being banned, I get it, but I don't know why we're banning things that you counter as Mordekaiser.
I love first pick.
of course,
Yeah, I know. Beard gets like 5 banned every game, so he loves first pick.
yeah, a little hiccup in the draft. And then that Milio and the Zeri, if anything, like a better enchanter support to make Zeri even scarier this game.
Zeri is very scary.
Annie, the pretty standard mid pick, just looking to get that 4-stack, have a big Tibbers bomb on the enemy team. And then Kane looking to scale up and become a scary late game jungler.
I will say it is an improvement over last draft for SoraStar. They actually picked a jungler this time, so that was really good. And then they also gave Junie Jin, which is also really good. I do like the Blitzcrank as well into their bot lane. I think Blitzcrank Jin is like very oppressive. Uh, but yeah, so I mean overall, I like SoraStar's draft a lot more. I feel like they have a lot more threats than they did last game. But I also think Big Wheel has a really crazy top matchup that I mean Hayden does a very good top laner, so I mean I would expect that he would be able to have a huge impact in this game. Um, but we'll have to see. I mean Olaf's super good into basically all of their champions, so this is
Yeah,
definitely a
agreed.
dangerous pick.
Kha'Zix needs a huge lead. Yep. Needs to have a
Oh yeah,
pop
for
off
sure.
game from the jungler. They're hoping their bot lane gets a bunch of picks. But we will see how they do as we jump into game number 2.
I mean, yeah, Kha'Zix really can't play into any of their champions very well. So yeah, I don't love the Kha'Zix last pick either. I'm just happy that he picked a jungler this game instead of Ornn. So I mean, we do baby steps. we do baby steps. I think on Kha'Zix this game though, I would have liked to see him go for like a Bruiser Kha'Zix game because I think Bruiser Kha'Zix with like Gore Drinker into Black Cleaver is actually like pretty good, but he's going first strike, which leads me to believe that he's going for the assassin build,
Here
which
we
I don't
have
think is as good in this game.
SoraStar looking for an invade once again. Going for
The
the
5-stacked.
counter engage with the 5-stack. Hoping this time they'll be patient enough to get the enemy to walk into them. They
I
have
like how
wards
all
on
of
the
them are kind
other
of just
entrance.
backing off from
Yeah,
the
just like,
front so they don't
I
get
don't
hooked.
want to be the one who gets hooked. This time they do see them as they walk in, let the Blitzcrank walk in, get a huge chunk as like basically a 5-man queue from Kane, a knock up on 2 of them from Milio, and actually get 1, 2, 3 kills.
Yep, that is they. Yeah, they I mean,
That is
Big
not
Wheel
how you want to
is
start a game.
That is a
no,
rough start
no.
for them. They did get the
You don't
trade
want to.
back onto the Morid, so still a little unfortunate. There's 2 kills onto the Olaf, 1
Two
kill onto the
kills on
Morid.
Olaf already.
And
Jeez,
then
man.
1 kill onto the Zeri just to start off the bot lane a little bit ahead as well.
You do not want to be playing Mord into Olaf, and then your Olaf comes to lane with 3 swords. He's got 3 of them.
This guy's only supposed to have 1
Zenith's got a
sword.
shield and some cloth, but he's got 3 swords.
He's like, listen, if he was able to build 3 cloth armors though, then he would have 3 armors.
Yeah,
So
I think all the armor in the world is not going to prepare him for getting ran down by this Olaf.
And here, if it jumps back, we'll see how Olaf will basically queue and on repeat pick it up and try to keep walking at Mord. Getting a push in from Big Wheel's bot lane. Live Light looking for a Hex Flash for a hook. They backed off into the river. Nice little
I
stun of the
think-
Andy. The root comes through from Nico, but no big trade.
I would like to think that Olaf, would
Maybe
tie the
swords.
swords to the other sides of the axe, so he's got like a dual wield. So when he throws the axe, the sword can also like hit as well. It's like a boomerang almost, and just get hit by both sides of it.
Yeah, that would make sense. It does tumble a lot when he throws it, so it'd get a double hit. But now
Exactly.
the wave pushing back into Big Wheel on the bot side. They're playing respectfully of the hooks. Kane and Kha'Zix looking to finish up both the clears soon on the top side. We'll see if they have any engagement near this top scuttle crab.
We'll see how much of the CS High Lord will actually be able to pick up. He's got a pretty huge stacked wave there. Omega will be shadowing him, so in case Olaf wants to push further, but it looks like he's just going to back here. Nope, he's going to stop us back. And
Looking like
we have
Annie was
hard light
also walking
posturing.
up. We
Yeah.
have the top and mid posturing around this scuttle crab for Evbot, so Omega smartly not engaging into that fight.
Does Evbot get the double scuttle once again?
Definitely gonna
We'll
look
see.
for it. We do have pressure from the bot side, so shouldn't be a free one if Live Light and Junie walk up for him.
Yeah, High Lady will spot him on the ward, so Kha'Zix is heading down towards the scuttle. Yeah, bot lane does have prio, so it will seem like Omega should be able to get that scuttle pretty uncontested.
Yep, looking like Evbot's looking for his birds, so no double
the
scuttle for this
chickens.
game, but still a good start here. Olaf having a little bit of a CS lead already and getting pushed in, so this lead will widen. And just as he gets more points into his abilities, just gets kind of better and better for this matchup for him. Let me see this slow.
Mordekaiser are having a level lead right this second until Olaf gets these minions, but
Yep. You see Olaf already has his Vamp Scepter as well, so going for even more sustain.
Ooh.
A nice hook from Live Light into the root from Junie. Getting damage down on Zeri. The Ignite is on, but Amelia is able to keep Zeri alive.
Amelia W just negates all ignite damage.
Yeah,
True.
basically.
Any truers?
Now,
Amelia does
the
not have
gank
mana
coming
here, but
from Evbot. Getting a Q onto the Blitzcrank, gets a knockup from Milio. And Live Light is able to walk away.
ooh, the bounce!
Nice bounce from Junie, actually picking up the kill in the 2v3. Well played to the SoraStar bot lane.
Yeah, I think that was kind of just really forced by Evba. I don't like Melio has no mana. Zeri's half health. I just don't like Kane just doesn't have damage early yet to be able to really do anything to Blitzcrank or Jin yet. Their health bars are just full, and just, Kane does not have a lot of damage early game, sadly.
But Stax is the counter.
Yeah, he does get some stacks for it. That is true. He just has to sacrifice his 80 carries life to get them.
Sacrifice anything for the stacks when you play Kane.
True. Olaf
Both
doing
top
Olaf
laners
things.
now having ults, so Olaf free to walk at Mord because if he gets ult, you counter his ult with your ult.
The Tabby's purchase is good. We like Tabby's purchase. I mean, Olaf doesn't even like Olaf can just ult whenever he wants, and if he decides to all in, because like Mordekaiser's ult can't ult him when he's ulting. So
Unless if Mord could somehow get away from you and have it fall off, he's still gonna
Yeah,
ult
yeah.
while you all in.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels so bad. But yeah, the smart
you just
pickup
gotta-
on the Tabby, but still you're gonna get zoned. It only helps so much as he still has those true damage swings.
Yeah, I personally like when I'm again. If I was in that matchup, I personally would have rather seen the Ghost instead of Flash on Mordekaiser. Honestly, I feel like the Ghost is just like you kind of need the Ghost to just not get ran down by him later.
Yeah, it's fair, but with him having Ghost as well, if he's ulting and he's ghosting, he's still gonna be faster than you.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I mean, Mordekaiser does get movement speed from his passive, which does enhance
A
like the
little
ghost.
bit, but not as much as Olaf ult.
Yeah, well, I mean, Olaf only gives you movement speed for a second. If he gets like Stride Breaker or something, then he would maybe get more movement speed. But
I do love how every
No.
time the camera pans to mid lane, Hardway's getting rooted by Nico.
Yep. High Lady on point with these roots. The Kayn was hovering topside, denying this huge wave from High Lord. But the answer is Omega starting up the Dragon with the bot lane.
yep,
They will
I mean,
pick up Dragon number 1.
definitely a weakness of Kayn is is not the best early aim duelist, unlike Kha'Zix, who is able to do a lot of damage. Okay, Emilio getting hooked.
Meanwhile, Blitz getting poked down some by Zeri. The root comes in on Milio as the Jhin opens up the curtain. And will take down Fluffy and the hook in from Live Light with the punch. The double kill from the SoraStar bot line.
Dang, why didn't we give Junie Jhin the first game?
Junie and Live Light playing very well. And the root, very nicely done. High Lady. The flash follow onto the Kayn. The Rift Herald charges. The ult comes in on the Nico as they're trying to walk away from the more Olaf.
One of those champs.
My brain was lagging.
Oh, he did get him in the ult.
So High Lord will ult him. Olaf will just flash over Valhalla. Now Hardway able to ult Omega and take him down. And Mordekaiser now walking away from that Annie.
Omega was kind of left holding the bag there when Mordekaiser just like vanished. There's no one to stop the Annie.
Phase Rush could actually be a big brain idea when you're doing Mord into Olaf. Just you only ever try to farm when it's up, and then you walk away anytime he engages on you. I feel like he still gets hooked out eventually, but it could maybe
Phase Rush into Olaf is like typically pretty good on most champions. It's like Olaf and Tryndamere, like and Darius are like the 3 champs that like taking Phase Rush against are pretty big brain.
And any champ that wants to just stick on you.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what happened in your game, I believe, with
KB
Kelly's Maokai.
KB taking Phase Rush on Maokai, making me just have to sit there and say he keeps walking away. KB's too big brain for me, really. Kha'Zix and Nico fighting mid lane, taking down the Annie. Milio unable to keep the Annie alive with the campfire.
Kitten really should just... The biggest thing against Kha'Zix is you really just want to stand right on top of each other so that he cannot get the isolate. I think honestly, if Kitten just stood right next to Hardway, then he could have probably lived. He probably wouldn't have the damage to kill him there, but
obviously, Mordekai's able to chunk Olaf to half, but it's just because he's taking the tower plate and ignoring him. I do believe it was smart of High Lord not to keep chasing. If he had, I think Olaf just turns and kills him anyways. I like the call out from Fluffy that they were just saying bot lane's on fire.
Yeah, because Melio, get it? Because fire? Haha.
Haha.
That's what Fluffy meant. That's what he meant. You guys got the fire combo. You got Annie, Melia. You got the healing fire and the painful fire.
But despite the pretty good play as far as kills on the side of SoraStar, just this 60 CS lead for the Olaf, keeping Big Wheel at a 1k gold lead.
That was a good attempt from Live Light to try to start something again bot lane. Just barely missed the opportunity to pull Zeri back.
They ult in from Omega, the root down from High Lady and picks up the kill. Good combo there from SoraStar. Olaf and Kayn near the rift. Looking like Omega now knows, but doesn't really want to fight it.
Yeah, honestly,
like they are walking in.
Yeah, High Lord could have just tried to take out Evbot there.
Mord is looking for the ult on Kane. Gets Kane ulted instead. The knockup comes through as Olaf is ulting. We'll take down the Nico, and then we'll take down the Mordekaiser as well. Ends up being a 2-for-1.
Ooh.
But they do pick up the Rift Herald as well. Oop. The Zarya jumping in, getting ultimate damage down, trying to kill off this Blitzcrank will flash in and pick up the kill as Annie is showing up as well.
Yeah, I think I mean I like how SoraStar has been playing this game compared to last game. They definitely have more tempo, but I don't know. I just don't think that I don't think their team will ever have an answer for that Olaf. I mean, if Junie gets big enough, maybe Junie can be able to like. I mean, Jin late game it's like Mach 10, so maybe Junie will be able to outrun the Olaf later, but I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to. I just don't think they have an answer for that champion.
Yeah, it's gonna make it very tough. Again, pointing out where just banning away any hyper counters when you early pick a top can be good in the draft. If they didn't have this ridiculous counter match up top, they wouldn't have such a lead there, and they would probably have a lead overall in the game.
Also, if they didn't
We're picking up that dragon, jumping in. The Blitz jumps in with the ultimate. They're trying to burn down Annie. Not really focusing one champ. The Blitz will fall. Kane picks up Kha'Zix, and now Kane knocks up Junie as Nico able to take out Millie on the back, and Junie actually able to walk away.
Burn down Annie. I like what you did there. That was definitely intentional.
Another good route from Hi Lady. The Q doesn't come through, but they will still walk away and be safe. Blitzcrank is up now. They're trying to find a hard way in the jungle. Evbot trying to be around to help get them out.
Also, Evbot going to Red Cane this game, which I think I don't know how. I'm a big fan of Blue Cane. Okay, I think Blue Cane is just better than Red Cane in most situations. I think Red Cane is better if you're trying to 1v9 the game, I guess, and if they have a lot of tanks and like a lot of melee champions. I think that that Red Cane is.
Gank coming in as Kha'Zix and Blitz jump the wall as the bot tower will fall. Good play there by Fluffy, just running forward towards Junie to pick up the kill. And the Blitz will fall to Kane. Now, Kane also jumping on the Kha'Zix, gets the charge in from the Rift, but will walk away. I've been playing Kane so long. Back when I played him, it was when it was like you only played red. So that's just what
Red, when Kane first released, Blue Cane, they've done a lot of things to Blue Cane over the years. One of the biggest things was they halved the cooldown on your E when you're Blue Cane, so you're just way more mobile than Red Cane. It used to be that it was the same cooldown, but like Blue Cane's E just made him go farther. But then they like halved the cooldown on Blue Cane's E, so Blue Cane's just a lot faster. He can go in and out of walls a lot more.
Yeah.
So, along with that and the buffs to like the lethality items that happened recently, like the new Duskblade, for example, it's just very. Which you can go Duskblade Red Cane too, which is good as well. But it's just Red Cane's just a little slower, and especially into a team with a lot of squishy champions like they have on SoraStar. It's just you're a lot more potent in your damage. You're a lot faster, and you're a lot more you have a lot more damage. You can just one shot someone real quick and get out.
Yeah.
But Red Cane's not bad. It's just I think there's like situations where Red Cane's good, like if they have a bunch of tanks and you can kind of just like stat check the front line on Kane and heal and do a lot of percent health damage. Red Cane does a lot of percent health damage, but if they don't have as much percent health, it's a little less damage than you could be going.
Yeah, the only other nice thing is just you get a lot more healing if you're, as you said, looking to just win a fight as you're fighting within 5 of them. But
yeah. Red Kane's a little tank. I mean, he can build a little tankier and afford it because of his percent health damage. He doesn't really need it like to build straight lethality if he doesn't want to. So maybe he just wants like another like kind of pseudo frontline. But honestly, like I said with this Olaf, I don't think it's really necessary. I think if you just swoop in the back and like pick off the Jhin, then your job is complete. That's the only champion that can deal with Olaf. Like theoretically, so if you can just remove that champion from the back line, then you've pretty much done your job as a Kayn player. You don't really need to 1v9 the entire team when you have Olaf.
There. Looking like some back and forth fights here in this mid lane. You got High Lord looking to push out that
good
bot
hook.
as Olaf is near the Baron pit. High Lady takes down Fluffy off of that hook from Live Light. And they will flash away. The TP coming in from Mord, but is in the middle of 4 of them. Gets a nice E to walk out.
Another silly TP.
Now is getting run at. Ults the Kayn to try to stay alive. Kayn ults him and takes him down. Now they could either look for this.
As a top laner, I understand it. When you press the button, it looks good, but quickly you realize this is really bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can no longer stop your TP like you used to be able to do, so...
Yeah, it's one of those things where Riot said, we're gonna help out top, but we're gonna make every tool you use worse.
Yeah, that was one of the big... Well, the big reason why they didn't want TP to be cancelable was because of bot lane, because people would just fake out TP bot lane to get people to retreat from a play, and then they would just cancel it and stay top lane. So it was like a lot of people would use it, and it refunded half the cooldown back then if you canceled it. So people would just use it to like fake out the other team and just have them back off. Like if they were gonna 3-man dive someone, they would just TP to the tower. Everyone would back off, and then you would stop the TP, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, a nice hook again over the wall, taking down Azeri once again. The Rift Herald getting burned down, looking like they want to fight over it. They jump in, the Rift goes to Big Wheel, but the 3-man knockup from Nico, but doesn't have the team follow-up as Olaf was sprinting at them. A double kill onto Annie with the Nico falling, and the Blitzcrank will also fall to the Kayn.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. If Red Kayn decides to go mirror mana, I don't mind if it's lane Kayn. If lane Kayn builds mirror mana no matter what form he goes, but definitely in jungle you can avoid going. You can definitely avoid going mirror mana on Red Kayn, because again you're not using E as much, which is the big mana spender for Kayn. I think Kayn's E is like 90 mana, which is the reason Blue Kayn wants to get mirror mana, so he can because he's using E on off cooldown essentially. But our Red Kayn really doesn't need the.
It's also on theme because both items are blue.
That's true.
Or the item's blue and you're in the blue form, you know.
That's facts. That's facts.
But looking like the Dragon's down, Baron is up if ever Big Wheel wants to look for it. They were all on the bot side, looking to pressure a little bit before they got their resets off.
Yeah, like we were saying, the Olaf is still just unkilled. He's got full stacks of his Ravenous Hydra, and he's building towards that Sterix gauge.
Yeah,
gonna eat more difficult.
With his ult up and him being 6-0-5 right now, I think even if it was a 1v5, might still be Olaf favorite.
Yeah, it might be a. It's true. It might be like
I would
put like 50-50 odds on that 1v5, honestly.
Mr. Mango.
I'd put a good poll on that 1v5. But a fair amount of my points to see that.
I've got Kazakh waiting in the wings, no CC landing on Annie, so we'll keep farming it up.
Junie does have her double mobility items though, so she is a bit fast, but The stride breaker on Hayden will make it very hard to run away for most other of the champions.
Live Light is here, gets denied another hook by the kitten knockback.
I feel like
Olaf.
Melio Q is like it's just quietly one of the most triggering abilities in the game, and I don't feel like enough people talk about it, how like triggering it is to.
Oh, here we get another hook, taking Milio into the team. Has the backup though as Kane's jumping on Nico. Kha'Zix's stuck in the enemy team as the Zerial comes down to pick up the Blitzcrank. The root will land onto Milio as Mordekaiser gets on the back line, takes down the Annie, but now is surrounded by the enemy team. Will flash the wall. Nice Nico engage as Jin is ulting. Kane takes out the Mord with his ultimate. Milio did fall to the Jin ult. And now a flash, but a flash follow on the Jin. Nico does live, and Kha'Zix takes down the Kane, now jumping at Fluffy on the Zeri. Gets the slow from the Smite, but can't catch up. The Gale Force and force shot into the W. Junie taking down Fluffy.
I mean, they did not have their Olaf. They did go 2 for 4, so they did. The beginning of that fight looked really good for Big Wheel, but the Kha'Zix quietly sneaking in the back and finishing off a lot of the low targets. Definitely good. They also did not have their Olaf. If they had Olaf, they'd for sure win that fight.
A show, and now looking like Big Wheel trying to set up for this dragon. As
SoraStar coming to meet him.
Live Light's already here, taking out the wards. And we'll see.
This is when the support runs in for awards and then dies and says, "Guys, why weren't you warding with me?"
Where were you?
That's my favorite League of Legends moment, I think.
Another Night's Hook lands on Emilio from Live Light. The root comes in as Emilio is burned down. Olaf has to sit there and tank all the damage, but they are now starting up that dragon against what will be a 4v5.
Live Light again, just getting these insane hooks.
An ult coming down the Annie once again from a High Lord. The dragon falls for Big Wheel. Now the fight is breaking out. The Annie is dodging the Qs and Es from Mord, but will fall. Olaf ulting, running down the back line of SoraStar, and a Mord will fall to the Annie. As both of them do die, but they only lose the Annie for picking up 5, and should be able to look to push this mid lane.
I think they lost Melio too. It was just really early in the fight.
Ah, true.
Yeah,
Melio
got hooked.
picked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, he got hooked before the fight started. Yeah.
They only needed to get 2 more picks to force out the 1v5 I wanted to see, since Mord could have ulted somebody out of the way.
Why no vision? Why die trying to get vision? But it's all about timing. It's all about timing.
Listen, if you don't get wards but not die while getting wards, come on now.
You got to know when to get the vision. Is the key. It's one thing if your team doesn't want to go with you to get any vision at all when they can, but there are definitely there's definitely 2 sides to the story.
That's why I played Tryndamere. I can say, oh, they came for me, do something.
True.
Doesn't matter if I have vision.
They guys, there's 4 top.
Another hook landing on the Annie. The root comes through from Nico, and the Q will eventually burn down the Annie. Tipper's tried to get revenge.
Kha'Zix did have to ult there, but they do have the rest of their ults up.
Olaf still looking at this bot jungle to bot lane, doing his thing. Picking up that blue buff.
Olaf doing Olaf things. Just
Olaf
doing whatever he wants.
The Olaf things. Live Light looking for another hook, hiding behind yet another wall. This time will be spotted by those minions. Kha'Zix looking to jump this wall. Is it gonna be the 1v5?
This is crazy how much like pressure this Olaf provides.
Nope, here we go. Olaf ulting in, running at the Mord. The Kha'Zix jumps away. The ultimate does wear off as he has to walk away. Well played to draw out that ultimate from the Olaf. With that down, they could maybe do okay in a team fight. They just have to burn down the Olaf with the CC.
I mean, the Olaf ult is already halfway off cooldown, so
Allegedly.
I believe by next fight the Olaf will have ultimate once again.
Listen, you don't know that for sure though.
See, that's when like High Lord flashes to ult the Olaf like in the fight, and then he just presses R again. It's like, well, I guess he's got his ult back.
I guess it's back up. That's weird.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Kitten and Hayden though for subbing for sure.
Yep, filling in very well for this big wheel roster. And now we have Kane fighting the Kazakhs on the side as Mordekaiser's taking a lot of damage from that very Q. Kane dragged under tower, ults into the Mordekaiser, jumps out full health. The other nice part of being Kane, red Kane, you get that ultimate healing.
Yeah, I mean,
they pick up the 4-for-1 and get the mid inhib and has Kazakhs behind them as they're pushing towards the Nexus.
yeah, I mean, it's well played to Big Wheel. They did win in draft and they did win in game, so nothing but props, especially when they had half their team present. So good to see. Yeah, you know, let's just correct me. It's fine.
And taking down the Nexus right before Live Light can land another hook would have been just the cherry on top for all the hooks tonight from Live Light.
Medium Wheel and Friends. That sounds like
Medium Wheel.
sounds like a fun TV show.
Well, that's always hard way. You guys are still killing it for never having your full team, so you could have worse problems.
It's true.
But very well.
Hey,
played
you guys had your full team last week.
Yeah, maybe having your full team was actually your weakness and why you lost to the Go Kings. Just always have a sub, even if everyone's around, you know.
Yeah, man. That Hayden Doug guy's pretty good.
Hayden does very good. If ever you need a sub who and you can afford him, definitely a good one to pick up.
Yeah, that's the key. Can afford him. If you can't afford him, he is a good player.
Last week
We all had bird flu. That's tough.
It definitely showed in your gameplay. Maybe you should have bird flu more often. How do you all get bird flu? Do you like all live around each other, or is it just random?
They live in the big wheelhouse.
Yeah, they have a gamer house.
Yeah. The Alienware sponsored big wheelhouse.
Oh, you had bird flu when you played the Go Kings. Okay, I see. Then yeah, you can use that as an excuse. I believe you.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Well
we
played.
We all had Corona. We all had Corona too. It was tough.
I'm glad you guys recovered from your bird flu, and we'll be excited to see what you guys do next week. For SoraStar, definitely showing a lot of signs of life. Live Light, ridiculous on the hook champs. Watch out for those. Junie's still quite good on Jin. And just work on the drafts a little bit, I would say, is the biggest thing. And we can see what they can pull out. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Again, if you're around, you enjoyed the stream. If you got any Prime subs you can toss our way, we'll definitely appreciate them. And have a good night.
Peace.